Okay, next thing on the list to do is to work on the rear axle wheel bearing stuff. So that'll be this thing here, but the bearings are right here for this bike. The Timken bearings are for the old bike, which is that one over there. These are new bike parts. Alright, so we got a wheel laying right there. We're getting a collection of stuff that's done right now. Trinity's done, swing arm's done. Rear wheel's the next thing. Then you can put a bike together. Okay, so there's our two bearings. We're going to have to replace those bearings that are in there. We need to make sure they actually fit. So let's grab that axle, make sure I got the correct bearings. It would suck if I got the wrong ones. That would slow down the process of the job. So I'm going to check that before we get too deep involved. Okay, so to keep from tearing up your pulley on top of our bench here, we had this nice leftover piece of material laying on it, really nice cardboard. This stuff comes in really handy for doing stuff like this. It also works great for if you got your knees on the ground down there. Cardboard works good for that. Alright, so put that right up there for now. See, no damage now being done. Everybody pissing me on about my steel benches. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we got here. It appears that Fred likes putting stuff back together all the way. I don't know why you would put that back in there, but I would have just left it in the bolt container so I didn't have to deal with the damn thing again. I'm a big fan of these clips anyway. See, that's a pain in the butt having to do that. That's going to go on the table over there. We're not going to put that back on that axle again. That is stupid. Put back in the bolt selection. Right there. Okay. Now we can take this off a lot easier now and quicker. Okay, let's see if this actually fits the bearings. Appears to be basically a good fit. Got about 3/4 thou clearance in there at least, maybe 5. Okay, so you could just measure the axle, but we're just going to take the bearing out and see what we got. I got 1-inch bearings because it should be a 1-inch deal. Stiff box. Must be an American-made box. It didn't want to come apart and it didn't tear. Okay, these are some new 2-row bearing. That's why it's real fat. The little narrow bearings, those are single row. These have twice the holding power, wear power. It appears I got the correct bearing. It's 1 inch. Yeah, it's a nice tight fit. If it's 25 millimeter, this would not fit on there because 1 inch is 25.4 millimeter. They don't interchange. So if you got a loose bearing on there, that means you got a 1-inch bearing on the metric shaft. If you put a metric shaft inside the American hole, it'll be loose too. If you try to put a 1-inch shaft in a 25 millimeter, it don't fit. If you gotta get that number 5 sludge out to put your axle in there, it might be a problem. Alright, so we know we got the correct bearings now. That's a big piece. So we can go ahead and unpack both of these while we're here. Appears to be a number 5 box. You know metric would never put that on there, China. Definitely gotta be American made. Who else would do that? Appear to be good. I'm sure these are nice, genuine, high quality China bearings, I bet. Can't make out the naming. At least there actually is a name on it. Yeah, the name is called China. I never heard of that company, China. They sure make a lot of stuff, though. I see a lot of stuff with their name on it. There you go. Only the best quality stuff. Definitely. All right. Okay, so the axle is been tested. We know it's good. Leave that off the side here, out of the way, best we can. Now we got to find out how we're going to pull these out. So I bought a nice Midwest or Ultima, whatever name you want to call it, wheel bearing kit, pulling kit. Because my Gems kit's getting worn out, too many years of using it. So there is the kit number if you care. And I don't remember exactly how much it cost, but it was over 100 bucks. It was under 300 bucks, unlike Gems. They're on the other side of that 300 number. So I'm hoping this looks to be the same as the Gems, so they copied it probably. Hopefully it's made out of good material and it's heat treated so it'll actually live. When tools are not heat treated, they look really nice, they measure nice, but they don't live. They go boop the first time you use them. That little lip right there has to stay there to get the bearing out. And that's what digs in. Boom, like that. See, that lip does all the work. My Gems tool, that's getting worn, it's about 50% worn off now. So it's about done. And it's worn out. So this goes in there like that, and then you expand it by having a plunger in there. Which is this piece right here. And that expands that out, locks it, so it cannot squeeze down when you yank it out. But what really happens is it's still, when the bearings get wrong, especially if you're using the wrong one for the wrong one, you know, 25 millimeter on a 1-inch bearing, it actually wears that away. But they only give you what they give you. So just a 25 millimeter, see how loose it is? So when you use this to pull out a 1-inch bearing, it screws it up. Now I would never do that, but you know, somehow my tool is worn like that though. Now it looks like they put a little flat spot in there to hold it. Gems didn't do that. That's an improvement in my opinion. The machining is not as good as Gems, not as smooth. But we'll see how it lives. If it's heat treated, it should work pretty good. If it's not heat treated, it's going to just destroy itself. So the garage tool guys, garbage tools. They look really nice, but they don't know how to heat treat. If you don't heat treat it, it's no good. So it goes like that, and it just pulls up on that, spans that sucker out, and that's how it works. Takes a big long Allen, about that long, from the other side to hold it. You tighten that nut up and it pinches together. Okay, so this goes right inside of that, like that. Then they give you this big ass brass washer to go on top of there and have issues. What does this thing do? I don't remember what all this crap does. I don't know what that does. Sure it does something that matters. I'm not sure what though. I never use it. Maybe that's the problem. I'm doing it all wrong. They got instruction on how to do it. Like I'm going to read that. Okay, I know I'm going to need a long ass Allen bolt that's this long. I mean this diameter. So somewhere over here, he had a bunch of Allens that he said he had. I wonder where you hit them all. Somewhere in this area up here, hopefully. No. There's a good one. Oh, look what I found. Oop, can't see what I'm doing. Got to get lower, see? Lower. Okay, we got a 7-piece Pittsburgh tool. That's definitely Harbor Freight quality. Okay, looks like it's going to be the big one. No, it's not that one. It appears that this is a metric tool. It's this one right here. Is this the metric tool or the American tool? It appears to be American, 3/8 inch. Okay, good, that fits in there like it's supposed to. Okay, that is required to have that tool. Good. That was an important piece that we had to have. So that's a good sign. Now the next problem is can we do this with this assembled? My guess is no. Probably take this thing apart, I bet. That'd be a problem. I hate taking stuff apart. Ugh. So this goes inside of here. This one here we should be able to do without taking apart. Goes in there like that. Let's see, missing tools. Like that. Little assembly lube, where to go to. If you want your hardware to live longer, put a little oil on it. Tends to work better. It'd be really nice if they had a thrust bearing in here, roller bearing, to make it a lot better, but we know they're not going to do that. I haven't done it on mine either, because I don't use it enough, but if you put a roller bearing in here, it'll work a lot easier. Okay, you gotta make sure you got enough room in here for this thing to collapse. This has to collapse to go through the hole. So if you make that flush here, it gives you good clearance. It looks like there's enough length to do that on this wheel, but not the other one. So we do have to pull the pulley off. So you have to get this to jam in there, so it goes in there hard. So you're gonna have to walk around an angle, try to get to go through. And if you put a rag in your palm, it doesn't destroy your palm so much. The way you destroy your tool is you don't have it all the way down and you start yanking on it. I think that's how I destroyed mine. So you can't tell if it's all in or not. It's in there, but I can't tell exactly what's going on with it. So now you have to tighten this one up first, then as you tighten this one up, it pulls it out. So first thing I do is tighten this one down. Then you gotta do this one. So that looks like about a 5/8 maybe, or 11/16. I'm gonna go 11/16. That's 3/4. Where's my 11 at? I can't read what that is. That's 11. Appears to be the right one. So, multiple tools. Usually I use power tools to do this. Called a zip gun, which I brought with me today, but it's not working right this minute. Okay, we do not have enough length over here. Get me all the way in here. So we need a little extra length. Oh, we just made it. Barely made it. Nope, we didn't make it. See, it's spinning. So I need more length. Extension. There it is. Tighten it up pretty good. Okay, don't lose it, you're still going to be needing it. Okay, now we got this one tight. Now we need a socket for this one. So we gotta figure out what size that is. My guess is probably close to 1 inch. It'd be nice to have some heavy duty grease in there because assembly loop only goes so far. What Luke's got in grease around here. Just going to hunt for some grease. He does have a pretty good stock of stuff for working on bikes, which is nice. Most home garages don't have a lot of good stuff. Let's see, we got some patch paint repair up there, an all-purpose joint compound. That would work. We got down here, a lot of oil. Let's see here, I see that tub, but where's the real grease? Assembly lube, no, that isn't that. Polish. Thread pipe compound. Good chain wax for his old bike. I like that. Maxima. Where do we got those from? Looks like the same ones I use. I don't see any all-purpose grease in here anywhere. Where do we hide it? That looks like an all-purpose grease. Grease, STP. Oh, that's top. That's professional quality. That's Richard Penny stuff. Well, it's high temperature too. Perfect. We like high temperature around here.